The February 24th council meeting. I want to welcome all of our guests, all of our visitors, council, staff. Thank you all so much for being here tonight, and looking forward to our meeting this evening. First item that we have on the agenda is always to pray, and so I've asked Councilwoman Cook if she wouldn't mind leading us in our invocation tonight.
Absolutely. Please pray with me. God, I thank you for the opportunity to gather this evening. We ask that your presence would be with us and that your wisdom would guide us in our decision making. I pray for a spirit of unity as we work together for the good of our beloved city. We thank you for your goodness. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. All right, at this time, if you're able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you. Oh, contagious. Contagious. All right. Moving into our public comment time, the City Council would like to invite citizens to address the council on any matter, bless you, including items on the agenda, except public hearings that are on the agenda. The comments that are related to public hearings will be heard when the specific hearing starts. We ask that you please limit your comments to 3 minutes per resolution R87-11. The City Council is not permitted to enter into any discussion with you or discuss any item that's not listed on the agenda. When you're called to speak, we ask that you please state your name and address. And if you're speaking on a specific agenda item, please state the item before beginning your comments. The timer is up here on the screen behind us, so you'll see how much time you have left, and we appreciate it. So, public comment is open. Is there anybody who'd like to address council at this time? No order. Podium's open. You can just come to the podium here. If we could get your name, please.
Sorry. Meg Wallace, 700 Candlelight Drive. And thank you for letting me go first. I need to go to another meeting after
Sure.
this one.
Thank you.
I am commenting on number 4, which relates specifically to the sidewalk that's going to be built. But the sidewalk also goes along with the bike path, which has, from what I can tell on Nextdoor, has gotten pretty controversial. So I just wanted to share some of the things that I've learned as I've been reading pretty extensively about issues of road safety and how our decisions about how we build and modify our roads makes our community more safe, both for motorists and for pedestrians and bicyclists, everybody in our community. And one thing that I've learned is that when we build our roads wider and wider so we can get places faster, well, what do? We go faster. And when we go faster, we have more accidents. When we go faster, more people are injured. I'm a disability advocate. More people become disabled because of traffic that goes faster than it needs to. So I know not a lot of people are using the bike path yet, but even until they do, it improves road safety. I was talking to someone from the Metropolitan Planning Organization. They said they don't yet have figures on how our new bike lane has improved safety because it takes some time for those figures to come out, but they look forward to communicating with y'all and getting information on the improved safety. It's happened in many other communities. They expect it's going to happen here too. The other issue is, why just have this one stretch with this bike lane? So you can get from the Arboretum to HEB almost. It really starts to work better as more development happens and as these protected bike lanes are added in more places in the city. And so the regional planners here in our area, when they look for funding and create projects, they are looking to create projects that create safer roads, that reduce our dependence on cars, and that make it easier for pedestrians to get around. And so I really want to thank the city of Waco for having the foresight and the vision to recognize this about what helps to make our community safer, and for going ahead and getting it done. So thank you, City of Woodway. Did I say City of Waco?
Yes.
I meant Woodway. Waco's next, but I am a resident of Woodway. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Anybody else to address council, please?
My name is Kristen Jack. I live on Wood Creek Drive, but I grew up on Candlelight Drive. So I went to address also the new bike lane and walking lane on estates. I too have seen a lot of the things that have been on next door, and that combined with just kind of the world we live in, where it seems like everybody and everything is trying to continue to divide us all of the time. And we are kind of almost coached in society to look at what is in it, what's in it for me, what do I get out, how do I benefit from something. And so I wanted to come and just say thank you for a bike lane that I won't ever ride a bike on, and I might go for a walk on because it's close enough to my neighborhood that I might on some of my walks get that far and go down the lane. But just like Meg mentioned, I was going to mention how grateful I am for the bike lane that does benefit me a little bit because it has slowed down traffic. Am I slightly irritated sometimes when I'm on Oakdale needing to turn left onto Estates because my daughter and I got out the door a little bit late and we've got to go all the way to River Valley? Yes, that's irritating, but change is hard sometimes. And so with that change, I just know sometimes we need to leave maybe a minute or two sooner in case it's a little bit, it takes a few cars to pass before I can get by. Because ultimately, it is about what is best for our community. Some of the next door comments that I've seen are, well, in my, 40 years of living in Woodway, I've never seen anybody ride a bike on estates. Well, of course not. It wasn't safe to ride a bike on estates. And so I think that we'll all start seeing more people using that. But overall, I'm just very grateful that at least on the residential part of Estates Drive, where there isn't the commercial traffic, it is slowing down because it should be. So I'm grateful for all of you for making that happen in our town. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else? Yes, sir. If we get your name, please.
I'm not at the stand yet. Just a minute. Hold your horses. Name's Gary Aubenshine. Live at 9109 Midway Drive. I've been in this city for a long time. I understand that the family center, the new one that you paid $6.7 million for, is closed for repairs already. Great job on picking a fantastic contractor to build that thing, moron. Anyway, we've got another building over there that we were using for the family center before that that's been sitting there empty, not being used. All it is a financial burden. Why haven't you been renting it out? Why is it still sitting there? Empty, not being used. I mean, who in the world is thinking these things through? If I ran my business like you run this city, I'd be broke. You're spending my money hand over fist. Slow it down. Better yet, quit. And as far as that damn bike lane, who saw the accident Friday at 10:30? I did. I witnessed it. Your bike lane has sat there and taken a major vein that goes through Woodway and narrowed it by 50%. You haven't sat there and slowed it down. You created a traffic jam. You did. Because it was your deal that said, we'll learn to live with it. No, you live with the fact that you've made this a legal liability to this city. There's going to be lawsuits. I guarantee it. Because they're going to get fed up with your foolishness. You didn't think this through. Use your head. Use your head. That didn't help at all. $480,000 for 6 blocks. Who sat there and paid that much? I could have got out there with a 1-inch paintbrush and done it myself for a third of that. And I wouldn't have been near as stupid as to make that thing so narrow that you can't get people to drive down there. I've got that 1-ton dually sitting out front. I have to straddle the yellow line so I don't hit the mailboxes when I was coming here this evening. Who figured that out? Who did the study? You tell me that. Who decided to spend the money on that thing? Who decided to spend the money on the family center? Wasn't me. Should have gone to a public vote because we would have voted it down. That's too much money. And what was it supposed to be? 9,000 square feet? And we got what? Just over 12? Did they cut the bill by a third? Because we got 2/3 of the building that was proposed to get built. Again, whoever was overseeing that, moron. You can't run a business like this. Woodway is a business. You have money coming in. You have to budget this stupid city so that we can have money to keep running. You're not doing it. You got to pull your heads out of that dark place.
Thank you, sir.
Oh,
Thank you.
and I've got to Freedom of Information Act. I'm giving Don.
Thank you.
Now it's on record.
Okay, thank you so much.
Idiots.
Anybody else to address council, please? Yes, sir. If we get your name, please.
My name is Dave Whitby. I live at 1506 Wandering Trail. I drive Estates Drive every day, multiple times a day. Traffic has slowed down. I've read all the stuff that, the engineering things that came up to the vote that you guys took to create the Estates Drive situation that we have. Bike lanes, as far as I'm concerned, is a side benefit. What really helps is the fact that we have a turn lane. Slows traffic down. Nobody talks about the turn lane. Slows traffic down. We have a safer situation because we have a turn lane. I don't think that very many people understand, or that's not true. I think a lot of people understand how the city council works. Each one of you, if I'm not mistaken, has an equal vote. So when you voted as a council for the states to be the way it is, if I'm not mistaken, it was a 4-2 vote and it passed. If I'm not mistaken, the mayor's vote doesn't mean any more than any other vote here. That's correct? So to lay all this at the mayor's feet doesn't seem to make a lot of sense to me. So at the end of the day, we have lots we get done. We have paid $462,000 to have that done. It's done. So let's move on with the other stuff that we need to move forward with. Let's put this behind us because it doesn't need. Neighbor next door is full of misinformation and untruths. So anybody who's listening to neighbor next door as if it were fact are just becoming confused. So at the time we need to be looking at what needs to govern the city, we need to take the chaos out of it, collaborate, and remember that each vote is a thoughtful vote from each one of you using common sense. I heard on Neighbor Next Door the other day, somebody here invoked the term common sense. You got to use it to invoke it. And don't seem to be able to do that. So I'm just saying, let's put this behind us. Let's move forward with the business of the city. And always remember that each one of you have a vote that counts, not one person. We have somebody to facilitate these meetings, but each vote counts the same. Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. Hi.
Hi, my name's Fiona Bond and I live at 1649 Cherry Creek Drive. I just wanted to express appreciation for the bike lanes and the traffic control and the slowing down of traffic that goes with that. I am a keen cyclist. I cycle probably about 4 or 5 times a week along that route. It has made a huge difference to being able to cycle to the store. When we were looking for somewhere to live in this area, we were specifically looking for a neighborhood that had cyclable routes for our children. I know it's hard to tell, but I'm not originally from this part of the world, and where I grew up and where our kids were born, we had safe cycle to school routes everywhere. We were purposefully looking for that in choosing a neighborhood that was family friendly, and I know we're not alone in that. The fact that our children and our neighbors' children can cycle safely to school now, that's a huge part of having a healthy lifestyle.